We're live.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Vancity Beats, Eats,
and more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
I know I'm doing.
excellent. I mean, we rehearsed it one time. The second time, even better. If y'all have never met me before, my name is Kazi. This show has been about interviewing the creatives of Vancity. We feature dancers, artists, musicians, and today on the show we have a very old dear friend of mine and Zia, the dog.
A third cook.
A third cook who
She's
wanted
hidden.
to be acknowledged. Yes, we see you, honey. This is my dear beautiful friend, Sevrin, aka Sevi Sev. Some of y'all in the dance community might recognize him. And he... Okay, Zia. Hey.
This is the best episode so far because of the dog.
We have no one on set to deal with the puppies, the animals. Here, let's just give you love while I continue my intro here. Just going off the cuff here, freestyle, okay? You know, sometimes animals have needs, and we just got to give them a little love. Hey, it's okay.
There we go.
Sevi, take it away. You're the host of the show now.
What's up, everyone? I'm Sevi Sev.
Yes.
I'm a b-boy dancer.
Yeah.
I'm from the Vancouver cruise, Now or Never, Dirty Rotten Scndrlz, and Think Twice Japan.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Better
And
think twice about that one.
Word. And formerly, and still spiritually, Hoy House Collective. If you know, you know.
Which means that he was previously my roommate. We lived together for a year and a half,
Year
2
and a
years.
half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost 2 years.
This was a house that I managed and ran for 8 years. A creative community residence in Joyce Collingwood neighborhood. A lot of artists, a lot of creatives, a lot of dancers had lived in that space. It was quite wild. There was, 9 rooms at one point in time. And Sevi inhabited one of them. And honestly, if you go on my IG, I made a few posts about that. And that was an epic era.
Yeah.
You know, you put a whole bunch of creative humans in the same house together. It's just, things get a little crazy.
We were the final season of the Hoy House, right
8-year run.
during COVID too. So we got to be quarantined with, including us, 7 other people. There's 9.
So 9. It was 9
people.
of us.
Yeah.
But what's nuts about that is that, we could never all be in the house at the same time prior to COVID.
Yeah.
Because, 9 people, that's really hard to manage everyone's schedules. We'd try to have dinners or brunches together. Someone would always be missing.
Yeah.
But that was the first time where we, actually were solid because we had to form pods, right?
Yeah.
And come together and communicate and agree upon, how we were going to function as a pod. And honestly, that was, some of the, people were isolated, but we actually had the greatest time together.
COVID was kind of fun for us.
We had club nights with just us.
In the living room.
And we cooked a lot. So if anyone saw my personal post on IG, I was like, Cooking for Zoomers. This is a new show that's airing today. That's actually, hilariously enough, an inside joke between Sevi and I, because when he did move into the house, it was the first time he ever left the nest.
Yeah.
And I inaugurated him in many things that you learn when you become a roommate and when you live on your own and you don't have your parents cook for you anymore.
Absolutely.
And so I taught Sevi how to cook a lot of different things.
Yeah.
What did you learn?
We would share groceries.
Yeah.
We did the stir fry. We did a whole bunch of recipes. We did lasagna one night.
Yes.
We did waffles. We did everything.
Granola.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The granola
I have
recipe.
fond memories of learning stir fry because it was the first time I also learned, I had, when you're teaching something the first time, you're actually breaking down the steps that you never realized that you naturally do. And I remember just teaching, I was like, so you want to make all the veggie shapes the same size so that they cook at the same appropriate time. But yeah, so that concept of that show, we were in COVID times and Sevi was like, we should do a show called Cooking for Zoomers that will teach Zoomers like himself, aka Gen Z, how to cook. About 30 minutes before the show started, Sevi was like, hey, I don't know if I told you, but I have an update. I don't think I identify as a Zoomer. Can you please elaborate on that, fam?
So it was 2020, like that was the newest generation. So I think people were still trying to figure out what year Zoomers began, like the oldest and ended.
Yeah.
And it was always a toss-up between 96 and 98. And I'm born 96. And that was like perfect. I can identify in the younger generation group. I'll do that. I can make sense of my lack of responsibilities. But afterwards, I don't know, just with internet culture and how it is, like TikTok was still blowing up.
Yeah.
And just the maybe negative effects it's had on like my ability to focus and also the content that Zoomers consume. I'm like, actually, you know what? This is too fast. It's too much for me. I think this is making me old. This is making me realize, no, I'm in fact a millennial.
It tipped you onto the other side.
Yeah. I'd rather identify as millennial, and I don't know.
Amazing. So this is Cooking for Zoomers by millennials and former Zoomer crossed over to millennials.
Yeah.
So
I made the switch.
Exactly. Today's recipe, we're gonna cook a one blender situation pancake. I have been making this pancake recipe for years. The recipe on my phone is actually the original handwritten note, a picture of it that I had on the Hoy House fridge for years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and the reason why I love this is because A, it's gluten-free, not that we care, but for those who do, it's only made with oats, which you blend up to become oat flour. Got oat milk. We've got 2 eggs, so these aren't vegan, but you know we've got protein, lots of protein here. 2 bananas, which shout outs to Sean. Unfortunately, they're slightly green. I did not buy bananas that were brown because nowhere has them. We don't live in the tropics.
That's true.
It's not cute, but it's funny because actually I went to Kim's Market here on Davie, and it was a Filipino guy who was working, and I was just like asking him in Tagalog. I was like, "Oh no, there's no bananas that are brown," and he's like, "No, you know, we're in Canada." And I'm like, "It's true." He's like, "Everything is green," and I'm like, "Also true." So whatever, man. Ideally, you want to have a brown bananas. Like this is the good moment to use them because they've ripened, they've softened, but they're also like have developed a lot of sugar. So you get your sugars. We're gonna have slightly tangy pancakes, whatever. And then some baking powder, some vanilla, a little bit of salt, a little bit of cinnamon. Optional, but we could put some blueberries on there. And then I usually like to eat my pancakes with an array of different toppings: peanut butter, maple syrup, maple butter, walnuts, pecans, whatever you want, really, and whipped cream. So, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. In a blender, what you want to do, Devi, I'll get you to peel the bananas. I'm going to pop in the oat milk.
It's common, but I peel my bananas upside down. This is how monkeys
Oh, no!
do it.
Dude.
This is how monkeys do it.
I noticed that.
Yeah. This is for real. You
Okay.
watch a monkey peel a banana, they'll do it this way.
I'm laughing so hard because I definitely have an inside joke with my friend. Shout out Reggie. He was dissing me for peeling the banana this way, and then he was saying once you get to the end, you're like trying to hold it without a handle, and it's all getting sticky and dirty.
Look at
Versus
that.
you have a handle there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's for. It's incredible.
Okay, bruv, you peel the banana that way. I'll peel it this way. It's fine. It's gonna go in the blender anyway.
All right.
Bada boom, bada bang. Put that in the sink. Yeah, these are definitely not ripe.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
No, sorry.
You know, are you more of a pancakes, waffles, or French toast kind of mans?
It's a toss-up between waffles and pancakes, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it just really comes down to like the toppings.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I love that in waffles you have all the little squares that could hold the butter and the maple syrup.
Yeah.
But some people find pancakes quite cardboardy, but that's because they've never had them with oats, which I feel really add like more flavor, more sustenance, and health.
She doesn't agree with you, I don't think.
What do we need, honey? Sugar baby. What's up? She might want an afternoon walk. I'm so sorry. It was crazy today. I was rushing around trying to find a brown banana, man. Like, life. Okay. 2 huevos, 2 eggs.
All right.
Crack them. Oh, single-handed crack, hey?
Boom.
There we go. Just toss that in there. And then we've got our baking powder. Boom. Shakalaka-laka. Some vanilla. Measurements. 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, but we just...
Gonna eyeball it.
Yeah, we just freestyle. And then a pinch of salt. Sounds about right. Put your lid on top. And then this is the part where we talk the most during the interview, when it's really loud.
Oh, they're
okay?
gonna love this part.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell my deepest, darkest
Okay,
secrets
ready?
right here,
And
actually.
go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a story.
I don't know if I could ever repeat that.
I'll never tell anybody.
Yeah. We'll keep that just between us.
Between all of us.
Yeah.
Woo! Woo! Might need to take a moment for that.
Yeah. It's good to get these things off your chest.
It's true.
Yeah.
So, ooh, it definitely smells like green bananas. Whatever.
Green banana pancakes.
Changing the recipe. Cooking for Zoomers. There's more potassium. There's more. That's how my mom says potassium. There's more potassium in green bananas. Is that true? Don't quote me on that. Yeah, I think this is good. I mean, it's a solid blend. It's already liquidy. Even if it's a bit chunky, it's NBD. No big deal. So, yeah. From here, this is the fun part. We get to make a bunch of pancakes.
Oh, yeah.
And something I also like to do, especially if you're just one human being, just pre-make the whole batter batch and then pop them in the freezer. And if you don't have one, this is not an endorsement at all, but I'm just like such a fan. Get yourself an air fryer, fam. They're accessible and affordable and will change your life. Pop them in the air fryer. And then you've got breakfast to go. Protein, gluten-free, bada boom, bada bang, bada bang.
Bada boom.
Boom, boom. There you go. So I guess I'm supposed to interview you now, Sevi?
Oh yeah, that part.
Yeah, I think there's people who have questions about you, who have seen you in the community and, seen you dance especially. How would you describe your style or how people know you as?
I guess I've been in the breaking scene for a long time. Since I was a kid. I started when I was maybe 6 or 7, and I think I started to go to breaking events at age 9, 10. So I was already trying to battle at that age with Now or Never crew when they were in their late 20s or mid to late 20s.
Hold on, rewind. So when you were 6 or 7, like where did you even see breaking for the first time?
Wow. The very first time I think was actually in Abbotsford. And I know there's a crew out there called Floor Play.
Okay.
But I was so young, so I apologize. Like, I don't know if it was them.
Yeah.
But it was definitely in Abbotsford because I have family out there. My Lolo and Lola
Grandma and Grandpa.
lived out there. And then just through, there used to be an old studio in Surrey called Pure Dance. That's where I first learned from a hip-hop dancer named Natasha Gori.
Woo woo! Shout outs to Tasha.
Yeah.
Also a previous guest on the show last season.
Yeah, and my first breaking teacher was Stu Aguides from...
Also shout outs to
Yeah,
Stu.
yeah. They're still both active, both amazing dancers. But yeah, he took me to my first battle called, now it's escaped me, Soul Foot, I think. Soul Foot 2005. Yeah.
The fact that you even remember is actually incredible.
Yeah.
Maybe let's transition onto here so we can see what's happening on the cooking front.
This side. Yeah.
And so from there, were you like, I need to do that, I need to try that, or you know?
Yeah. Breaking to me, like, I guess because I was so young and just seeing what people could do for the first time, there's two elements. I think I initially compared breakers to almost like the X-Men. Like everyone had their own superpower with their own strengths in certain situations.
This is true.
And then also the usage of the floor. To me, that was like a new dimension to unlock. Just at that young age, I felt that was the most freedom you could have, right? Rather than just be up and standing. Now I feel different, obviously, because I'm 28 and not 9. But
You're like, my knees, my hips, my back.
Yeah. But I think that's definitely something that pulled me towards breaking. It just felt like there was so much more movement to explore. Yeah. And then I met NON around that time.
Yeah, who's NON? What is
2006.
NON for anyone who doesn't
Now
know?
or Never crew, one of Vancouver's longest running.
Multi-generational, still going.
Still going, yeah. Breaking crew.
Now or never.
We have members from age 52, 3 to now age, our youngest is
11?
10? 11? Yeah.
Is that Gabe?
Lucas. Yeah. 2 brothers. Yeah. But that crew formed in 1996. They started teaching me in 2006. So I met them through a movie called Kicking It Old School.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you were an extra in that?
Yeah, no, I had a whole scene.
What was your scene?
I was in a crew called The Misfits.
I remember this movie.
Yeah, and it was
what's that? It's like that short white guy with the reddish hair who's like comedic actor.
Jimmy Kennedy.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
he was in it.
He was the star. Bobby Lee was in it.
Okay, wait, go back to your scene. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I was in a crew called The Misfits, and I believe I got it because I kept auditioning for the younger kids, the flashback role in the beginning scene, but I was too young. But my mom just kept putting me in all these auditions anyways because she was like, you're going to get in this movie.
Yeah.
So the story that was told to me was that they created a crew, or they had a crew idea for the Misfits, and they were kind of just the really odd dancers, and my character was Baby Man. And they put a little mustache on me, and then they told me I had to like suck my thumb and get carried on like this, and then they'd drop me, and then I would start like popping and.
Wait, like as in like gold. What's his name? The baby like this. What's that movie?
Yeah.
With Austin Powers.
With Austin Powers.
Austin Powers.
What's the movie with Austin Powers?
Austin Powers.
Yeah, it was kind of a mini-me situation.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, I met B-Boy Lazy Legs.
Oh,
Shout-outs.
shout outs to Luca.
Yeah. Through that, and
I didn't realize he was also in the movie.
Yeah, he was in.
I need
he
to
was kind of
rewatch
the
that.
leader of the crew.
Oh my
Of
gosh.
Misfits.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Okay, so wait, how did we get here? We were talking about.
just my start, I guess.
Yeah.
How you met anyone?
Yeah, and that's how I met NON, because Jamie, B-Boy Eloquence, Jarek, B-Boy Twist, they were both cast in the film. And then my mom just kept contact with them, and they started training me. And the next year they let me do street shows by the
Like-
Vancouver Art Gallery.
Like busking type of street
Yeah,
shows? Amazing.
Yeah. They were training, or I think they were trying to raise funds to go to Battle of the Year 2008.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Isn't that the year? That's the year that they made the documentary, no? That movie, Battle of the Year?
Planet B-Boy came out
Oh, okay.
2007, 2008, but it was about the years 2005. But one of our crewmates, B-Boy Tayo, he was in that film, in his Korean crew. So way before NON. There's a lot of overlap in history.
That's awesome, and
Yeah.
it's cool that we're actually talking about it now, so we could just have that archived and documented.
Yeah.
I think I found a clip with Sevrin.
Oh,
Oh my
my
gosh.
gosh. We are currently rewatching the scene. We will post it on the internet,
I'll
on,
say-
on our Instagram.
Fun trivia, when they told me what my role was, I remember not wanting to do this.
Really?
And like crying and stuff. But my mom was like, "You're gonna do this. I didn't put you in 3 auditions and have them make
Let's go dance,
a
Mom.
scene
Let's go dance,
for you
Mom.
to say no."
Wow.
So I'm happy I did. But yeah. It's like, I
That's-
don't want to suck my thumb.
You're like, I'm not a baby
Yeah.
anymore. Come on.
I'm 10 or 9.
Oh my gosh. Oh no, the pancakes, the pancakes. I'm just going to say, if the smoke alarm goes off, it was just it's hilarity today on the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Okay, so quick update
boom.
on the pancakes. The pancakes is,
Ooh.
that's what they look like.
Wow.
Aren't they cute?
Oh my gosh.
I'm literally only wanting to cook 2 more because this is kind of stressful. It's just,
I can see faces.
it's just
in
like,
them.
you know, the element, it won't go, yeah, it's too hot. We'll just wait a minute. There we go. Oh,
Waiting. Another skill for Zoomers.
is that shade? Is that a little bit of shade being thrown? Because I could get behind that, actually. Devi, that's one of his nicknames from me. I don't even know how you got that nickname.
It's because you just texted me and just spelled my name wrong one day. That's all it was.
And you called me Dar back. That was funny. Yeah, did you ever think that you would continue with breaking, like as time went on and you continue with the dance, like, or did you feel like, oh, this is just like an era of life that I'm in?
I feel like I never questioned it in terms of dance. Maybe as I got older, I feel like I returned back to other dance styles. In breaking, not for everyone, but there's a general sort of mindset that takes inspiration from martial arts as they appeared in movies. There's a big emphasis on discipline to the point where it can feel like, to explore other movement arts is almost wasting time, or should always be secondary to breaking. So I think I internalized that for a very long time, up until my early 20s, especially during the COVID era, because
Oh
since we had nothing to do,
we did a lot of thinking and talking, bruv.
and I spent a lot of my time just dancing on that back porch. And because it was just my self-training, I would explore other styles or kind of reach beyond breaking. And then I just came to the realization that it's just all movement. So even if I try a different style in street dance or otherwise, and I don't excel at it, it's going to be teaching me something. Like I'm still moving my body. So I can always bring it back to breaking, and it can have a positive effect. Yeah.
Philosophy, bruv.
Yeah.
How did we get into that? This man just graduated.
Oh, yeah.
It took a long time.
It took a long time. Yeah.
But that was one of my favorite fond memories, I think. Is just like when you lived at the Hoy House, I realized how studious you were with reading and contemplating and getting into conversations with me about life and, you know, society and art and culture and why people are the way they are. And blah, blah, blah. And it was cool to learn that was something you were studying because, you know, at that time, especially seeing you dance, like, it was very clear that you were on a different wave, bruv, or just thinking on things in a different kind of way. And so, yeah, how did this become part of your life or your first early introductions to philosophy to the point where you wanted to pursue studying it?
Yeah. I think it was a pretty organic, I guess, discovery. One of the guys in my crew, in Now or Never, his breaking name is Muggy Muggs, but he was one of my first main mentors in high school.
Shout outs to Muggy Muggs.
He would also spend a lot of time with me. At first he was trying to get me into like self-help and entrepreneurship. You know, he was in his mid-20s, like that's what you do at that age, it seems.
Yeah.
But then also got me on like civil rights and how those things connect to the hip-hop culture. But I think from there just sparked a curiosity where I needed to go deeper. Like if I'm gonna do self-help, then I need to make sense of myself, and then that got me into politics. But then to understand certain forms of politics, I need to understand the foundations, and I think that drove me to philosophy. And then I had to figure out what philosophy was, and then I found a book called What is Philosophy by TELUS and Guattari, and I thought it would give me a really solid foundation, but it did the complete opposite thing. It just kind of provided me no answers, but sparked so many thoughts, and then that helped me think of philosophy more of more as a creative exercise, rather than something that has to explain everything and hold everything in a container, which I think is the usual image of philosophy. The thing that explains everything or gives you the first foundation for thought. For Deleuze and Guattari, at least from that book, it seemed like philosophy can be, it's just a creative enterprise like art, or they would even argue sciences as well. So that just made it a lot more interesting. Yeah, it made me more curious.
And how has that played out now into your practice as an artist, as a dancer, as a movement practitioner?
I think it probably helped me explore outside of breaking or expand the limits of breaking conceptually. For the longest time, I've always tried to find a way in which I can interweave the two.
Yeah, how?
Yeah. Well, now it's just that the easy answer, just in my week, I just spend like half my free time reading philosophy and then the other half trying to dance, and then just trying to find ways to like find bridges, I guess. Or in 2016, I used to go to a cafe and just read philosophy for an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then I would go to Robson Square, which is where a lot of street dancers practice, and then I would just session there for like 2 to 3 hours, just based off of like whatever inspiration I got. Even if I couldn't articulate it, as long as I could feel like it sparked thoughts or new ideas, I would just take that and trust it. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so more of an artsy approach to philosophy, I guess. That's what I like. Yeah.
You brought me back to how we actually met. Do you
Robson
remember?
Square. Well, we kind of ran into each other a few times, but it was at Robson Square.
What? And now I'm curious what moment you remember.
Because that's different.
Yeah. What moment do you remember?
I feel like you just came to talk to me, and then we did Moments of Movement, like kind of maybe like a month or two after, but we started to hang out more 2018.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember that I came to talk to you, okay? But actually, now that I think of it, like, you might be kind of right.
Yeah.
Because I think it might have been at Hustle at Robson. Because we notice when there's a new lead around, and as you know me, I'm always in and out of Vancity, and so every time I pop back into Hustle at RS, it's like, oh, new dancers, new follows, new leads. Especially for me being a follow, I'm like looking for new leads to dance with. And then I saw you, and like, I was like, oh, he's pretty good. Like, I would like to dance with him, you know? And that might have been the moment of like, I came up to talk to you.
No.
It was just like, I think you're good enough to dance with me. It's actually.
Yeah, that's how I meant it. That's how I meant it. Yeah.
But I have a significant memory, and it's linked to our other brother, Jamin Cameron, Josh.
Oh, that guy.
That guy. Yeah. He was on season 1 of the show. But that, I remember that one of you possibly reached out to me, but it was through Victor, aka Savage Rock, and he had told you guys to go and approach me and become friends with me. Do you remember this?
It must have been through Josh. It would make more sense. You know what's grounding all of this too is that I'm way more shy.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I'm thinking back. I'm like, it would make more sense if you came to me.
Whatever.
I'm just way more shy, and also for Josh to
have initiated the conversation.
Yeah.
That also makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I also, that was at the point when Josh got over the fact that I couldn't remember who he was, or that I like kept mixing him up with another white guy in the dance community like 4 times over, and he was just like, will this girl ever actually learn who I am? Like, I'm sorry that I work in events, man. Like, there's just so many people to meet. But long story short is, one of our homies, my fellow brother, Savage Rock, also in your crew, also in Josh's crew, he had told you guys, oh, you know who's a good, awesome, positive female role model friend that you should have? Because, I don't know, y'all were going through breakups or something at the time.
Oh yeah, we were sad
You were sad boy phase. And then he like basically friend hooked us up. And then this is why I was thinking about the philosophy and the Robson Square thing, was because when we met up, it was at Birds and Beats Cafe, and y'all were just sitting there reading your philosophy books.
Yeah.
And we met up for coffee and hangs. And then I honestly, from that point onwards, I don't really remember too much other than the fact that like I adopted you both as my bros. And y'all were also like, I think in your early 20s at the time, and just new to like partying or events or what was going on in Vancity. And I was just like inviting y'all, and you kept coming, which was cool because I was like, like new faces to come in to the party and to dance. And like needing a place to crash, you would be at Hoy House up until the point that you became an official roommate. But we formed a party crew. It was called Chop Suey.
Yeah, you know how we do it.
That's it. Mm-hmm. I don't know how we came up with that name, but
self-explanatory.
Really is. Yeah. Do you actually even know the dish, chop suey?
Do I know the dish?
Yeah, it's a dish.
Know the dish. Yeah, but I thought for some reason we were thinking about the song.
Which song?
Chop suey.
No, I don't know this
System
song.
of a Down.
Can you sing it for everybody?
I can't.
Yes, you can.
I can't.
Can you pass the plate, please?
Of course.
Okay, so green banana pancakes are ready. This is as much as I want to cook.
Oh, beautiful.
Otherwise, like I said, what you could do with these is just make the whole batch, freeze them, pop them in an air fryer, bada boom, bada bang. So maybe we'll come back here this way. Circle back.
Boom.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Don't look at what's in the sink. It's not cute. Blueberries, bruv? Oh, we could have put them in. So, hot tip. You can make blueberry pancakes by putting blueberries in the batter while they're cooking. Didn't happen this time around, so we're just gonna...
Next episode.
Here, you want some?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want some peanut butter? I highly recommend this maple butter. Unbranded. Please? Yes, please. Unbranded. You didn't pay me to show your logo, so, Yeah. But this stuff is so good. Yeah, I love peanut butter on my pancakes, maple butter, do up some maple syrup. Oh, and whipped cream, fam. Oof. Do you want some of this?
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Yummy. So you recently came back from Paris.
Paris. Oui.
I had a
That's
really
all I know.
nice chat with Eliza about their experience
Yeah.
working with Hoodia and all of that.
Oh my gosh.
Was
it
that your first
incredible.
time in Europe, in Paris?
First time in Paris.
Okay.
For sure. First time in France. Yeah. Yeah, it was really incredible. I think everyone was just very inspired to come back, or it's kind of a wild experience. We flew there, and then within 10 days we worked on and then performed a show with 7 Vancouver dancers, 5 from Paris and 3 from Senegal. And then that was it. So it was really, it happened so fast, but it also felt so large, like in terms of like it being a large part of the year. Yeah, and it was just so exciting. The way that people dance out there, or the culture out there, is so lively. Just really exciting to be a part of. And it made us all feel very driven, I think.
In what way do you feel like it might have pushed you in your personal practice that you can now apply
I think,
moving forward?
well, maybe just what was so inspiring was to see the, not just financial support, but cultural support or energy. Sometimes maybe dancing out in Vancouver, it can feel like you're a little bit crazy, especially to keep doing it for this long. And maybe at this time...
Like pursuing dance as a professional, you mean?
Yeah. Or especially to be a niche sort of dancer, to pursue specific interests. But then when you go to a bigger city like Paris, and you see that there's so many people that are at least aligned with you, then you feel a lot less crazy. You're like, oh wow, no, there's like a huge audience for this, or you can create interest for this. Like, so I think that was really nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You feel like it maybe reinvigorated you.
Yeah, 100%. Most of the dancing I've been doing in the city has been a lot of teaching. I was also finishing school, so I feel like I kind of, it's been a while since I like pursued my own thing. But now, yeah, especially coming back from that trip, it feels really, reinvigorating. That's the right word.
Yeah. Okay, try
right.
the panqueque. It tastes like green bananas for sure, fam.
Oh, green bananas. That's the one.
Just a little bit more maple syrup and we're good. It's actually pretty okay.
It's good.
It's good. You know, we're not professional chefs out here.
I wouldn't know they were green. I would have been like, they were at least yellow. They were fully yellow bananas from the taste.
Nobody knew.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That is good.
It's hidden.
Oof.
Speaking the same language.
Are you just copying me? Like,
I mostly copy you.
you're like side-eye, just like, what is she?
Yeah. That was
Yeah,
cooking with Zoomers was
was
me just copying you.
you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Do you understand why I loved living with this human? And what's crazy is ever since you moved out, and, you know, I also moved away. It's been years, actually. We don't see each other as often. So
Yeah,
it
it's
means
crazy.
a lot that you could come on the show and hang out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hilarious.
It feels great. We're in like a time capsule right now. We're
This
going
is
back.
going to make it to the time capsule when we look back on 2025.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm just hearing this for the first time.
So am I. I would love to know about, you know, especially your just so much experience and having learned from many of our Vancity pillars and OGs and absorber of knowledge. When you do teach, what do you feel is really important to impart to the next generation based on everything you learned from previous generations?
I think what always drove me to dance was the creativity, was getting to a certain point where you realize how much you can do with a specific movement or a specific approach. So in my classes, I always try to instill creativity and playfulness. I think a lot of the ways dance is imagined to be taught is through like strict drilling of foundation, which is also important. I can't knock it. I was always bad at that though. But the playfulness was always the drive, and to understand that the foundation is there to enhance the playfulness, is to give you even more options, rather than it's something that you need to do before anything else. So yeah, a lot of my classes, like no matter what the age, it's always about creativity and exercising the mind and the body at the same time. Yeah.
That's good. That's important. Here's a big question. Tell me what you think of the current state of breaking.
Woo!
In the world, and
Awesome.
then in Vancity. In 5 words.
There in 5 words.
Just joking. You can say as much as you want.
I don't know. Breaking's it's just changing. Now we're post Olympics. Actually, I'll say this. What I thought was really interesting prior to breaking being on the Olympics, there was a lot of, I guess. What happened?
She drank my coffee.
Oh, nice.
I drank Sean's coffee and now I couldn't stop laughing. And it was like, just don't choke. Or like, comes out your nose on show. That never happened.
Yeah. It's live.
I was like...
It's live.
And you know what's so funny? It's such a coffee snob thing. I'm like, this does not taste like my coffee. Not how I have my coffee. Continue.
Vancouver
Bruv.
style. We imagined, prior to Olympics, we imagined breaking to be taken off, and people are going to finally see like what people can do at that level in like the competition sports side of breaking. But instead what happened was one dancer went really viral, and to me it just showed that image of breaking as breakdancing. That's what I've been calling it, like from the 80s, where if you picture breakdancing, you picture your uncle like doing this at the family party. Like that image is so strong.
In the tracksuit.
In the tracksuit. That once there was a dancer that kind of fit it, like that just became the only thing that people cared about. Because I think it's wild. Like there's probably a lot of people in the city that don't realize that like a dancer from here won the entire thing for the men's. So to me, like I don't feel like shaken up about it. It's just interesting, because I also appreciate breaking the more underground currents, right? Like I don't picture myself as a dancer that would strive in that
Direction.
Yeah, part of the culture, like the sports brands, blah blah blah. Not knocking it. It's just like not my strength. Is really all it is. So that's really interesting, but I do think breaking is growing though. Maybe not at the mainstream level as much as people were hoping for. Like I think some people really thought there's going to be like breakers treated the same way that athletes in other sports are. It's like half there, but it didn't take over the way people imagine. But I feel that there's a strong underground current that's brewing, which I really like to see.
Yeah.
I miss the more community events, the less sponsorships, the jams where there's a lot more ciphers, like freestyle circles that have nothing to do with the spectacle, the thing that gets filmed and put online.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of events cater more towards that, because
The battle.
what guarantees your sponsorships, guarantees the flow of income. So it's important, but it can also overshadow those other parts of the culture that we love or made us fall in love with the dance in the first place. As for the Vancouver breaking scene, I think it's really strong, especially the young generation. Like the teenager generation is actually pretty strong right now. My crew, we throw a lot of youth events. So just to give kids like a chance to keep practicing and get further into battles rather than just having to do prelims versus the adults, you know.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a goal for NON over the last years, is to bring up the youth and the Vancouver scene.
Yeah.
So it's growing, and it's really nice to see. Yeah.
I find it really inspiring, you know, and I think there was a lot of pride. I mean, I felt so proud, and I was upset that I couldn't go and watch the Olympics together with the Vancity street dance scene. Like everyone went to the Red Bull HQ. They opened it up to our community.
Yeah.
And they were like, we'll do a screening party to see Phil and cheer on Phil.
Yeah.
Gunning for the gold medal. And I was in Toronto at the time, and I was like, oh, I wish I was with you guys. But like, there was so much pride from our city that, you know, this person who we grew up seeing or watched him grow up at Robson Square since he was super young.
Yeah.
You know, and I also remember like J-Bugs, also a b-boy who had lived here before, and I remember him telling me, he was the one who introduced me to Phil, and he's like, that one, watch out, like that one's my son or my nephew or whatever. And I was like, huh. And then to see him become who he's become.
It was definitely surreal. Yeah.
And I think as a result of that, there's like a lot of excitement, and it's just like anything where you feel proud of where you come from. Yeah. It motivates you and inspires you to want to get better or to build or to be part of what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my goal, I guess, would be to take, if there's any sort of grander energy around the sports circuit image of breaking, which I think is on a lot of youth or people that are just getting into breaking culture, that's their image in their head, to sort of also transfer that back to the community, right? The things that are really like what keeps the culture alive outside of the sports circuit and whatnot. So it's a balance. Like I want to celebrate that, but I also don't want that to be the only image of what breaking entails. There's also a culture side and an artistic side. It's something. It's a dance where you can express yourself outside, like, of competition, or within it, or there's different levels of competition, like some that are totally okay with being subjective. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many elements that you don't want to have like overshadowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you one of those super nerds that, like, if I were to ask you right now, like, best breaking battle you've ever witnessed in your life, you could tell me? And why?
My gosh. Probably the one that stuck with me the most was IBE 2005 USA versus Korea. I used to watch that one like every day as a kid. So that was
explain.
a country versus country battle. All the best b-boys in the States at the time versus all the best in Korea. And Korea was just really blowing up at the time with their level of tricks. And they were going against the b-boys from America, the originators. So it was a very like heated competition. But looking back, I do realize that battle was probably a little unfair because they only played rap songs. So all the American b-boys were like hitting all the lyrics. And there's only, I think, one b-boy from Korea that understood the lyrics and was able to like match their musicality. Yeah. So maybe a little unfair advantage, but you know, it's just dance. It's just people dance fighting. That's all it is. Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that. I have to look up that battle.
Yeah.
But it's really cool that you know, there's certain ones that just stick out and become very memorable.
Yeah.
For me, it's actually a battle that only a very small circle of people have ever witnessed. And to me, it was the rawest battle because it had to do with beef, like literal beef between two people. And I remember going to this event where it was a person who I was dating at the time, and he was really upset at this person who like was like a brother to him, you know, and he had just done something that like offended somebody in the community, and I had no idea what was gonna go down. It was just like, okay, we're feeling an energy here, like we're a little angsty, and then we get to the party and we're at the cipher, and every time like the homeboy who messed up and had offended people, every time he got down into the cipher, like this other guy will go right in after him, and like people in the cipher like slowly backed away and stopped entering, because then you just hear them whisper like, oh man, someone's here to battle. And it was just round for round for round, to the point where other homeboy thought like, yo, he's inebriated, he's like, you know, like take care of him. Like no, he wants to battle, like let's let this happen, you know. And then it got to a head where it almost, you thought they were gonna actually fight, and then it turned into like a big bear hug. It's just so nice between two men, and like cries, tears, and then like a bunch of talking to each other in the corner, and then we're all like, all right, we're just gonna let them have it and, you know, deal with it. And then we all went outside to get some fresh air, and we're like, that was the craziest, realest battle we've ever seen. And then they came out and they were just buds again. They were friends. They worked out their business. And I was like, yeah, that will go down in history as the best and realest, rawest battle I've ever seen, where I'm like, now I understand.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I only ever seen organized battles. I never seen ones, and you know, like our OGs, like that's where battles took place. It was at the parties and at the clubs, and it was because
it was that meaningful. Like,
it was that meaningful, because you felt something towards them, and you just needed to get it out, or you had to prove something.
Yeah, remind me of a conversation I had with my partner.
Shout outs to Simran.
Scndrlz, one of the best dancers in the city.
Also was on season 2 of the show.
But we were talking about battles one day, and the intimacy that you can experience, that the only maybe like historical equivalence that we imagined was a duel, but like a real one, like
down my glove,
challenge where you're fighting. Like there's a weird paradox where it is kind of intimate, because you're exchanging with someone this like gambit between life and death. But with dance, or at least a dance battle, you can have that same energy but without the death part. So you do experience this weird paradox of intimacy with someone, especially when it's really real and there's real emotion in the dance.
There's a story behind it,
and it also makes sense of the bond that you might feel afterwards. It's like there's a vulnerability in a battle, right? Like you're exchanging blows. Like it's
That's,
so it makes sense to me. It definitely makes sense to me, that kind of.
Can you imagine if people battled to the death in today's day and age? Like, it's like, whoa, dramatic. Like, everyone calm down. Dance fighting to that extreme. Like,
well, today's day, I don't think that ever happened.
No.
That dance battle to the death. Like, not like back in the day.
Yeah.
Imagine doing that now. I mean, they were doing it back then.
That's not what I meant. I meant back in the day, because I was thinking of, you know, the thing, and then they're on the horse after they've thrown down the glove and challenged you to a duel, and then they're just trying to go for your neck with this long... on a horse? Like, that's insane. People were crazy. Like, talk about your feelings, fam.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They didn't have therapy back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't have social media.
They just had fencing.
They didn't have Instagram infographics telling you how to deal with your feelings.
That's very true. They didn't.
They didn't.
They didn't have that,
Oh, that was good. Your most memorable battle against somebody?
Oh.
And that exchange, that intimacy.
Yeah. I think one that definitely changed my life was Now or Never versus a crew called MZK, Mighty Zulu Kings. So
Where was that?
that was in LA. It was a battle called Concrete All Stars. It was the semifinals, and MZK is a really big crew. They have members worldwide. This was sort of like the current American breakers, and it just started off really heated. Like there was a lot of talking, and that's kind of their approach, their style.
They want to psych you out psychologically speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that battle went into 2 ties, and it really was like neck and neck. But like that was one of my first international battles as like a young adult. So I didn't have this like youthfulness to protect myself. I felt I really needed to stand my ground and prove that I'm on the same level and I'm not looking up. And yeah, I think I performed really well in it. Yeah, and we won that battle. So it felt good. But that was definitely one of those battles where I was like, oh, okay, I am actually like at this level, or I can go further in my break-in. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, I'd say that one for sure.
Oh,
what would you say?
Okay. What would you say, Zia?
Yeah.
Do we have something, a comment?
Christy Ann W says,
hey, come here.
I was at that battle, Knox plus I sending our hands.
Hey.
What's up?
Come here.
What's up, Knox?
Come here.
Regs the
One of
Wizard
the-
says, sing the song, Mr. Sev.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's talking about Chop Suey.
Yeah, and then
That makes sense.
What the fuck, NON. Oops, sorry. WTF, NON, battle, MZK.
Amazing.
Did someone link it?
Yeah. Shout out to everybody
That's so
who's
funny.
tuned in right now on the live stream. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, shout outs
Christy
to
Ann,
Knox,
Raptor, Rags the
Christine,
Wizard.
Hayden, yeah, Illust
Hayden.
Illusions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
Nice.
You know, earlier you were mentioning that, like, you know, in the crew, what you love about the crew is, like, the X-Men vibe, the, like,
Yeah.
you know, everyone has their superpower, and then you unleash, like, and what I love about seeing big crew battles is, like, seeing, like, who's going to go up against that next person, or that you personally get called out by somebody.
Yeah.
Like, in that battle you're describing,
Yeah.
who are you in that moment?
I just think maybe my approach, it just was so different compared to 'cause MZK. They're all really strong, but I think they all have share a lot of maybe the same superpower. If we're gonna keep using the X-Men analogy, they have a very specific approach, aggressive footwork. So I think my round really worked in that battle because I just had a lot of decisions or approaches that weren't shared with them, and I just showed a lot of that. So I think it really hyped up the crowd in that moment. It just worked, right? It was like the right superpower to use against this team, right?
You're making me very excited for a forthcoming battle. I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. For VIDF, Vancouver International Dance Festival.
Oh, wow.
Whatever, man. I'm going to talk about it. That is happening in March. If y'all don't know, Vancouver International Dance Festival. Again, shout out to Savage Rock, our brother, who is one of the co-directors along with Deanna Peters. But there's going to be so many amazing performances and stage acts. But also, what I really look forward to is this crew battle, an exhibition crew-on-crew battle. And there's multiple crews. I cannot talk about all of them, but one of them is your crew.
Yeah.
You know about that, right? Like, he's talking to you
Yeah.
about that? You're like, I didn't know that was happening.
we're still.
If you don't know what's
going
happening, I'm
through all
just
the
petting the
details.
dog with my foot down here. We're just keeping her chill,
The
you
third
know?
cook.
The third cook. There she is. Zizi. Let's do the rest of the interview from here.
Yeah.
You know?
Is that okay?
Is that okay, Sean? Are you all right?
Yeah, Abby says, Boy House Forever, heart.
Oh, hi, Abby.
Shout outs to Abby. Happy belated birthday.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
this is yeah. What was I saying?
We got distracted.
I know, I'm so distracted by
battles,
puppy
battles,
love.
battles, battles.
Oh,
VFF
exhibition battles. So
Yeah.
if anybody, you just take
Yeah.
a seat there, fam. If anybody, oh yeah,
This is the best episode.
right? Yeah. Like it ends on the kitchen floor. That's actually adorable. What was I saying? The exhibition battles, it's happening on March 9th. It's happening at 312 Main Street. NON, Now or Never Cruise, one of the crews, plus other crews that I'm not going to mention because it's a surprise. But if you want to see these elements of, you know, super X-Men, super family, superpowers against each other, this is where.
That's the place to be.
That's the place to be.
In the city.
Yeah. I have some surprise questions for you, Devi.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in my back pocket. Hey. Hey.
Abby says, thank you, King.
Aww. Abby, also former Hoy House roomie.
Hoy House legend.
So, speaking of Hoy House, this is what this has to do with, my friend. I talked to our beautiful, wonderful homies and asked them. Oh, see, she wants touch. She wants touch.
You're right.
She's just
My
expressing
bad.
her needs.
My bad.
So here we go. From Abby, what's one of your favorite memories through dance that was completely unexpected? Ooh, she likes that question.
I'm gonna go the cheesy route. I
Yeah, go
think.
cheesy. Go full queso.
Yeah. Through dances is how Sevrin and I met, and we just started like we were really just friends. We were just dance friends, but through that, like that was just an organic bridge over time and over a long time, blossomed into a relationship. So that was definitely unexpected.
Aww,
Yeah,
dear.
from both of us.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because I also knew you when you were single and going through your dating qualms. Often what I helped talk to you through and talk to you about.
Yeah.
That's really sweet. And, you know, I also remember during that time, speaking of cooking with Zoomers, was just like, I just remember thinking to myself, oh man, Sevi, like whoever your future partner is going to be is going to thank me. Because you're going to make chop suey or stir fry and you're going to make granola for them. And I hope the recipe library has expanded beyond those two.
Well, we have a pretty dope breakfast that we do like
What do you do?
very regularly. It's just like chili oil on the eggs, toast, arugula. We have the special. I don't know exactly what the salad dressing is, but it's so good. Something ginger.
Carrot ginger.
Look that up in your
Sesame
local
ginger.
grocery store.
Tamari ginger.
And then range of proteins depending on the day. But, yeah.
Okay, next question. From former Hoy House roommate, what is the best philosophy quote that best captures your passion for dancing? From Chris Perez.
Ooh, shout out Chris.
Yeah.
Wow. We don't even know what the body can do. Yeah.
Who said that?
TELUS through Spinoza. It's in reference to, like, Spinoza was writing, I guess, at a time where philosophy is very focused on the mind. Mind-body dualism, but the mind being the place where thought occurs, the place where knowledge occurs. So philosophy was so heavily focused on that. But for Spinoza, he always felt that knowledge at first comes through the body. So it was kind of maybe tongue-in-cheek, like, we're so focused on the mind, but we don't even know what the body can do. So I really like that, especially with dance, because I feel like dance is always discovering new things the body can do. Yeah.
Oh, took me to church just now, bruv. Okay, other question from Chris. Also, which cat did you like the most at Hoy House?
Oh.
This is the second era of cats, because we've gone
my
through some
gosh.
rounds of cats, and this
Yeah.
was the cats that Abby adopted, right?
Yeah. Two cats, Mischief and Nico. And when Abby and I moved out along with another roommate named Allie, like a lot of places that we would go would only allow one cat. So Ali and I's joke would be like, whenever we go to a place, I'm like, oh, would it be okay if we could have 2 cats? And it's like, oh, sorry, we can only allow one. We'd always be like, oh no, Nico, I'm so sorry, Nico.
Because
no,
Mischief was your favorite?
Yeah, he was clearly the better cat.
Rude.
It's okay. He doesn't care.
He's living his life.
Mischief was more of a kid. He was just more fun. Yeah.
I love that.
Oh,
Okay.
and we watched him go from like scaredy cat to like extremely playful.
Yeah.
And then Nico was just the same, like don't bother me the whole time. Like, I'm gonna go and sit on the table. I don't care what you think. That was Nico. Yeah.
Amazing. So speaking of Ali, you're also former roommate post Toy House. His question is, do you still cook rice without rinsing it first?
No.
And then I was like, yo, that's messed up, man. I didn't know. And I was like, I didn't know he did that. And then judgment.
He caught me once. And it was a good fix. This is a good reason why to have roommates. You learn things.
So wait, tell me the story of that moment happening.
I just put rice in the pot, and I just turned it on. He's like, did you rinse it? And I was like, no. So that's the story. Thank you, Ali.
And then what did he say?
And then he was like, I'm gonna make sure I ask this question on television one day. And then I was like, I don't know, what do you mean by that? I don't understand what that means. And now I get it.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
Okay. What? All I see is ha 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 from everybody. Aw. So, like, do you even know why we rinse rice first?
Well, just to wash it.
He's so smart in other ways. He's so smart.
That's the worst thing about studying philosophy is people think you're smart, but I'm not. I just was nerdy about it. That's all.
So apparently, when you rinse it, you know what? Today's day and age, who's my new friend? ChatGPT. Why do you rinse rice first before cooking it? Converting to text. Oh, transcription error.
It doesn't know. So even the ChatGPT has no idea.
No.
So it's okay to not know this fact.
First before.
That's what we're learning live right now.
We're learning live. ChatGPT says rinsing rice before cooking serves several purposes. Removes excess starch. I can't talk. Thus, producing fluffier, more separated grains. It cleans the rice, which you were right about, and it reduces impurities. Even though it, depending on where it's sourced, there could be residues, It improves the texture and removes bitter, unwanted flavors. Bada boom, bada bang. That's what our mothers and our Asian ancestors knew. What's up? Okay?
It cleans the rice and reduces impurity. I like how those are separate notes.
And starch.
And starch.
I'm so tired. We need to end this live stream. It has gone on for an hour. Yeah. Well, this was so fun, Debbie.
Yeah, it was great. Dazimi.
Yeah, Dazimi. Shout out to everyone who's with us right now, who's tuned in the live stream, who popped in and maybe said, I don't want to know anything about this guy, and just logged right off. We appreciate you. We've made green banana pancakes. We've talked about breaking and dance and philosophy. We've tried to quell the uneasiness and anxiousness of this dog.
Someone needs to go on a walk.
Someone needs to go on a walk. All of us do.
And that's Sean.
Big shout outs to Sean, who has been filming the live stream for us. This has been another episode. Speaking of how many, I believe we are at 74 episodes of Vancity.
That's the best number.
Yeah.
That's actually the best number.
Why?
ChatGPT told me.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for watching. This has been Vancity Beats eats,
And more.
and more. Bye.